Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's Fatmata here from Traditionally Inspired Meaningful Art, and I want to say a huge Happy New Year. I feel like you've seen me in the new year, but we haven't really had like a sit down conversation. It's been about fabric hauls and then my 2023 clothing wrap up, all my me-mades, but to actually sit down present day and just like fill you in on where I'm at. It's been a while, so I'm super excited to do that today. And again, I hope your 2024 is off to a fabulous start. If you've been on this channel before, you might know my best friend is getting married this spring. Is that spring? May? And we've begun. We are doing all things pre-wedding bridal sewing. So that includes outfits for the wedding shower, maybe some things that she might take on the bachelorette party or wear throughout other events that are taking place, the rehearsal dinner and things like that that will take place around the wedding. And I'm super excited to get to support and help with bringing those fabulous ideas to life. We'll get into some of the things that we're already working on. We have a Pinterest board of like these fabulous ideas that we're trying to recreate some of them. We're drawing inspiration from some and then kind of doing our own things with them. Now, one of the important, I think, details to get it right often is going to be fabric choice. So I've been doing my due diligence. We went to Joann, we went to G Street Fabric, we picked up samples, and then I remembered when I got to connect with Tashana, who, hi Tashana, watches this channel, but also we got to meet up at the end of last year when we did quite an impromptu meetup at G Street Fabrics, and she was telling me about her favorite fabric store closer to her in Alexandria, Virginia, which is the Fabric Place Basement. And I was like, I feel like this is the level of intentional sewing that would require you to make that trip, just to make sure that I've covered all of our bases and we're really pricing out fabrics and getting a feel for what's out there. So she was so gracious. We reached out like the week of, I was like, I think we're ready to go this weekend over the MLK weekend. And she met up with us. I took not a second of footage while I was out there. I don't know what my mind was thinking, but I'll pop in some images from Google search, possibly, of what the fabric store looks like. But it is wonderful. Lived up to the hype. She definitely let me know that there were some gems in there, and there were. So in their sort of remnant section, we were able to find the most gorgeous silk fabric. It's a warm white, and hopefully you're getting a feel of this. It is silk, and it has just the most darling twill weave to it, and I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see that, but it also has what we've been looking for, which is a ton of body. So it like holds its own structure. It's fantastic. Now, the issue with this was there's only 1 5/8 of a yard here. That is closer to 1.5 yards than it is to 2 yards. And for the projects that we have in mind, or that we had in mind, we were a little bit nervous. Will it work? Will it not? But for about $16 this was, we weren't going to pass it up. I, of course, went and asked one of the attendants there if they happened to have more of this fabric out on the floor, because I would have happily, taken this 1 5/8 for $16 and then went and found maybe another half a yard or a full yard at its full price and purchased that, just so we felt like we had enough. But alas, they did not have any more in stock. But it was too good to pass up. Real silk with this weight in a colorway that we were really excited about. We needed to have it. So this is what we picked up from the Fabric Place Basement, and this is going to be the fabric that we use for one of the dresses that I'll be making for my best friend. My best friend had scouted another fabric store that was not too far away. It's a Vietnamese fabric store, and I'll try and put information about it down below. I don't remember the name of it, but it's one of those like maze, windy sort of stores. And she had gone, I think like the previous day or a couple of days ago, and was like sending me videos of a particular fabric. And we were able to go back and actually find it. It is in a very similar colorway, this sort of like an off-white, and it's a warmer color, and it has, again, a good deal of body to it. So this is going to be fabric that we might use for actual makes, but I thought that this would be perfect, given the weight of it, to serve as some of our toile fabric for some of the makes that we plan to execute. So we picked up 5 yards of it, and it was $5 a yard. I think my son is up and is dragging the dining room chairs across the floor. I think that's the sound I'm hearing upstairs. Okay, or we have already dug into this, and the first sort of look that we started working on is the Estella dress by Vicky Sews. I don't often work with indie patterns, so I was super excited when my best friend saw the Estella dress, and it really fit the vibe of some of the looks that we've been pinning on Pinterest, so it works well. It is a very fitted bodice. I hope to be sharing some images with you, but it has a very fitted bodice, which is darling, and then it sort of has a fuller skirt, and we love that silhouette. We're hoping to then add a really nice fabric flower on top of it and sort of zhuzh it up and make it our own, to be a bit more reminiscent again of some of the images that we've been pinning over on Pinterest. Because I don't often work with indie patterns and have actually never sewn with Vicky Sews before, it was a new experience, but I'm very familiar, having heard so much about other sewists utilizing Vicky Sews patterns. I know that the designs are amazing, and I've heard fabulous things about the instructions, which I can attest to. They are delightful. Now, sizing is where we kind of came into a little bit of a rub with the Vicky Sews patterns, because you have to select a single size, just a one, and they also do it by length bracket, like your height. So we went with the third bracket as far as height, which is geared for folks who are 5'7" to 5'9". That's in line with my best friend's height. And then it was the sizing that really did us in. Because of how fitted the bodice is, we were starting to get nervous because the ratios or the difference between the bust and the waist measurements that we were seeing on the finished garment measurements, or like the sizing chart, did not fully align with my best friend's measurements. So it feels like it's designed for someone who has a more significant difference from their bust to waist. And we were really struggling to figure out like what size do we select. We ended up going for a larger size, the size 48, that would fit comfortably around the waist, thinking it's better to have a bigger size than a smaller one, and then we can kind of adjust from there. So we went ahead and cut out the pattern pieces and put together the size 48, and she came over and we just whipped up like a quick mock-up toile. This is basting stitches all throughout. This is no serged edges, just let's put this thing together, no facings, etc. So this is the mock-up that we came up with, and it was a very, very helpful to kind of see it all together. I do have it pinned up here at the shoulder. The dress form just isn't padded out and, you know, at the right size. So I did go ahead and pin that up, but so that you can kind of get an idea of sort of what it looks like. So I love this sort of neckline, and I think once you have the facing and the lining and all of that in there, it's going to be great. But we ended up pinching out so much at the side seams and at the under bust. It was about 2 full inches that we were going to have to take out of this to really get the nipped in fit that we wanted. And we recognized also that where it stopped on my best friend, it really needed to be lower. The bodice could have dealt with maybe 1.5 inches more at the front and at least 1 inch at the back. So those were the sorts of adjustments that we immediately identified, and that was really nice to be able to utilize this toile to learn all of those things, and we're going to go ahead and make use of that knowledge. So moving forward, we have purchased again the Estella dress pattern at the size 44. So we dropped down 2 sizes, and this is going to fit her bust extremely well. It's almost the exact measurement of her bust at, I think, around 100 centimeters. So roughly 40 inches at the bust. So we're gonna go with the size 44. I've actually already printed and stuck together just the bodice piece. I'm going to go ahead and add that length to it, 1.5 inches at the front, all the way around, and then shortening it to about 1 inch at the back. I'm going to put that together, and then hopefully when she is able to come back, we'll fit that to her, just the bodice piece, to see if that's a fit that we really love. Does it solve all the issues that we were having in the initial toile? And if it does, then we will feel comfortable going ahead to cut it out of the silk fabric. And we did measure out the pattern pieces on here. And because we're not using the sleeves of the Estella dress, we are actually able to cut out all of the main body pieces out of this silk fabric. So for $16, I am like over the moon. And really excited to see how this dress comes together. And once we have the base dress done, I will have a lot of time to sort of play around with how we want to do the floral piece, which is really going to be like the thing that takes the dress over the edge and really makes it our own. I'm so excited about it, but I look forward to kind of reporting back about the Estella dress. If she's up for it, I hope to sit down with my best friend and then record a bridal collection video where we can kind of talk you through the other plans and ideas in one video, so that as I'm working on these projects in the upcoming weeks and months, you can kind of have that frame of reference and one place where, like, we talked about all of it and the inspiration behind them. But we do have some exciting things coming up, which I can't wait for. So that brings me right along to my plans for this upcoming week. I'm going to be working on toiling the bodice at the size 44 of the Estella dress by Vicky Sews. We're going to get that fitted, see if we've done it. And then I might just go ahead and proceed with actually beginning to sew up the official dress in the silk. Outside of that, I also hope to toile these style pattern shorts. So the short is view 4 right here. And this is style 2274. I thrifted this pattern some time ago, and I'm interested in them because we are going to be doing a blazer and shorts set for one of the bridal looks that she's going to be wearing, and she really liked the design lines of this, the way that it flares out, where it kind of gives almost like a skirt vibe, but you know, very, very sleek. It has a facing up at the top, and she was interested in this. Now, it goes up to a size 16, which on the back of the envelope says that that is for a hip of a 40. There were no finished garment measurements on the pattern pieces. This is an older pattern for sure, but I was very surprised. I was like scanning the entire, you know, tissue paper to figure out I'm on the pieces for the shorts, but I see like no indication of what the actual finished garment measurements are. So I am just going to go with the measuring tape and kind of measure all of the pieces to see if this is going to fit at the size 16, or before I cut out the pattern pieces, if I might consider adding directly onto the tissue paper before I even cut it out. So because it has a facing as well, I want to get it right, because that might alter what the facing pieces also have to look like. Some things that I need to think about, but I'm looking forward to it, and I would love to have this toile done this week as well, so that we can kind of commit to what the final fabric is going to be. This is going to be paired with a blazer that just came out from the Know Me Early Spring collection. I believe it's Erica Bunker's pattern, the blazer that she created with the back cut out. I saw that backless blazer and I immediately sent it to my best friend. I was like, at which event do you want to be wearing this? Because I want to make this and I need you to wear it. So I'm just waiting for a McCall's Know Me pattern sale. And we are going to purchase that pattern and it's going to be great and I cannot wait. I don't know that I've ever made a blazer. I have never made a blazer. I think I can say that with confidence. I've never made a blazer, so this is going to be pushing me out of my comfort zone and hopefully giving me some new skills, which I'm all about this year. So very excited about that. If you know of when the pattern sales at Joann's are coming back, please let me know. I have been very disappointed that for the first couple of weeks of January, this weekend and last weekend, there were no pattern sales. I know I've been spoiled and I will admit to that, but let's just hope that they get back on track with those pattern sales. So I'm waiting for that so I can secure that pattern and a couple of others that we've sort of picked out, and then I'll report back when that time comes. In line with the bridal theme, I've picked up a new craft. Okay, I am now a crepe paper flower maker. Look at my rose. I am so stinking pleased with this. And I will put in a link to the video. There is a fabulous woman, Alina, who's here on YouTube, who does the most breathtaking, large-scale, giant crepe paper flowers and silk flowers and all of this stuff. But her tutorials have been fabulous. That's what I use to create this beauty. And we're going to be working on quite a bit of crepe paper flower making for some bridal things that are going to be coming up. So that's very exciting, but that's been another hobby that I've sort of acquired in the past couple of weeks in preparation for the wedding. One of the biggest pieces of news, I'm so excited about this, and I need to thank Mari from Mari Sews. I was watching her like New Year's resolution video, or one of the videos that she recently put out. I'll link it down below. And she mentioned that DC Frocktails is happening in February, early February this year. I had no idea. I'm not on social medias outside of YouTube. So I haven't been on Instagram. That's probably where it's been like bouncing around. I missed the early bird sale, but when she stated that tickets were on sale and she's going, I was like, should I go? So I messaged my best friend. I was like, are we going to Frocktails? Have I converted you into enough of a seamstress that you want to be present at the event of events this new year? Do you want to go with me? And we got our tickets, so we're going to the DC Frocktails. It's being held in College Park, Maryland, which is like a hop, skip, and a jump away from my house. I am so excited about this. I'll put the links down below if you are also in the DC metro area. Come, let's have fun together. I'm very, very excited. I will say the ticket prices, I was like, ooh, is this how much Frocktails cost? I wasn't aware. I think it's $125 right now. So, but you know, it is a goal of mine to start meeting more and more people in the sewing community. So we're going to Frocktails and I'm so excited. And Tashana's going too. So I'm very, very excited. Do I know what I'm wearing? No. Especially since I'm in full swing with like the bridal projects. I don't know how much time I want to, you know, like pull away and divvy up to try and make myself a Frocktails dress. Top of mind for me right now is the prom dress I made for myself 2 years ago when I was chaperoning prom. That bright, large fuchsia pink number. I might just wear that, you know, no need to reinvent the wheel. I think it's bold, it's beautiful, I love it, and that might be what I wear. But if I come up with any amazing last minute plans because I must be wearing something new, you'll probably be the first to know about that. So I'll talk more about Frocktails sewing plans if any come up, but I do really want to prioritize in the weeks ahead these makes because while, yeah, things are happening, it's more like April, May, I think I am often really okay with like sewing something the week before. I'm not adding that stress to a bride that I love. I'm not going to do that to her. So I want to have these things done and out the way and in her closet, knowing that like, this is what I'm wearing for this event. Not like Fatmata is still working on or tells me that I will have a garment to wear to this event in about a week's time. I don't want to be that friend. So I am prioritizing these while I have the energy, while the momentum is still there, before I start getting preoccupied with other things later on this year. Some other quick updates. My Burnett machine is on the fritz. I don't know what's going on with its tension right now, so I'm hoping to get that over to the Burnett dealer at G Street Fabric to have another look at it. But I haven't even been working with it. My best friend is using my old Singer machine right now, so I am borrowing my mom's Singer heavy duty machine, which is doing the job. So I am using that machine right now. I'm just giving that update because I know I've sort of in the past talked about my two machines and sort of where I'm at as far as like recommendation wise. And right now the computerized situation, I've been having more issues with my Burnett machine than I've ever had with my Singer, and because it's computerized, I feel like there's often hesitancy that I have in trying to like pull things apart and actually work on it, because I don't want to break anything. So I'm going to take it back, and hopefully it's like the twist of a knob or something like that, and they get the tension to course correct itself. But it's been in timeout and I'm quite disappointed in that. I just have to let that be known. If you've made it to the end of the video, I am so appreciative. I hope that this year we're gonna have a lot of fun here on the channel, learn some new skills together, embark on some new projects. I am currently wearing my McCall's 8064. Love this dress, and this is made out of a double knit rayon. Is that what you call them? But it is such like a substantial weight. It feels amazing on the body. I had lengthened the sleeves and did a lettuce hem on it, and it's long, so I love it. And it's just a bright pop of color. We are living in the book Snowy Day, and I love it so much. We've been like frolicking. Yesterday we went out into the snow with the kiddos. I went out into the snow with the kiddos, and it was wonderful, and we just played around. So that's why I'm getting all of this glorious light, because all of the sunshine is like bouncing off of the white snow outside, and it feels really great. We had a snow day and I'm just really happy. So I hope your 2024 again is off to a great start, even if it's a bit chilly if you're in this hemisphere. And I hope to be back soon with some updates about some of the projects that we have coming up. Let me know what you're working on in the comments down below. And let me know what you're most excited to see here on the channel. So I've already talked about the Estella dress by Vicky Sews, that Erica Bunker blazer. Or listen, if you want to get some updates about my new hobby, let me know. I'll be sure to share that with you. As always, friends, stay creative. Bye-bye.